Let's start with a puzzle. How is it that millions of smart, capable people spend a small fortune on something they know is actively hurting them, something they truly wish they could stop doing? So what is this trap, and why is it so incredibly powerful? We're diving into the smoker's enigma.
You know, that quote just hits you, doesn't it? It perfectly captures that feeling of struggling to quit. It's not about being weak or failing, it's about feeling completely and utterly trapped. In this explainer, we're going to map out the walls of that pit to help you finally see the way out.
All right, I want to start by asking a few really direct questions. First one, if you're a smoker, deep down, do you want to stop?
Okay, and what about this? If you could hop in a time machine, go right back to the moment before you were hooked, knowing everything you know now, would you have lit that first cigarette?
And this one's a big one, especially if you're a parent. Do you encourage your own kids to start smoking? Of course not. In fact, you probably do everything in your power to warn them away from it.
Yeah. The answer from pretty much every single smoker on the planet is a hard no way. And that right there, that's the heart of the paradox. Almost everyone who does it wishes they didn't.
And look, it's not just your health we're talking about. It's your wallet. The source material for this did the math, and an average 20-a-day smoker will burn through an incredible 50,000 pounds in their lifetime. Just think about that for a second. That's a down payment on a house. That's years of travel. That's a college fund, literally going up in smoke.
So, what does all that cash actually buy you? Well, the source material calls it what it is, a lifetime of slavery. You're paying to poison your own body, to live with the filth, the bad breath, the stained teeth. You're paying to feel deprived and anxious, in places you can't smoke, and then feeling guilty and wishing you didn't have to in the places you can. It's a constant, nagging feeling of self-contempt.
So, if it's that bad, why do people keep doing it? I mean, it doesn't make sense, right? Well, it's because smokers are caught in a web of illusions. They don't smoke for the reasons they think they do. So, let's start pulling those excuses apart, one by one.
Okay, let's tackle the big one first. Pleasure. You hear it all the time. I just enjoy it. But do you, really? I mean, if your favorite brand is sold out, do you just decide not to smoke? No way. As the source bluntly puts it, most smokers would rather smoke old rope than go without. This has absolutely nothing to do with enjoyment.
All right, how about this one? It relieves boredom. It gives me something to do. Come on, let's be real. Boredom is a state of mind. There is nothing, and I mean nothing, genuinely interesting about setting a little paper stick on fire and breathing in the fumes. It's just an illusion. Or maybe you've heard this one, or even said it yourself. It helps me relax, or it gives me confidence. But think about it. If you truly needed help with chronic anxiety, you might see a doctor, right? But you'd never ask them for a prescription for confidence. You know, deep down, a cigarette isn't a real solution. It's not a reason, it's just an excuse.
And now we get to the big one, the excuse everyone falls back on. It's just a habit. But is it? Think about all the actual habits you have. When you travel to a country that drives on the other side of the road, you break a lifelong habit instantly because you have to. Smoking isn't a habit. It's something else entirely.
Okay, so let's take a step back. We've just torn down all the usual reasons, right? It's not for pleasure, it's not a real crutch, and it is definitely not just a habit, which leaves us with a huge question. Why in the world does it feel so impossibly hard to stop?
So, it's time to pull back the curtain and look at what's really going on here. It's time to name the real culprit.
Look, the reason isn't a lack of willpower. It's not a character flaw. It's this, nicotine addiction. That's it. That is the one and only reason why it feels so hard to give up smoking.
But here's the crucial part, the thing you really need to get. According to the source, addiction here isn't just about the chemical stuff. The real trap, the sneaky part, is the brainwashing. It's the deep down belief that you're getting some genuine pleasure or benefit, and that if you quit, you'll be making a real, painful sacrifice.
Let's break that down a bit. Think of it like this. You're fighting two different monsters. First, there's the little monster. That's the physical craving for nicotine, which, and this might surprise you, is actually so mild you barely even notice it. But then there's the big monster. That's the powerful, psychological brainwashing that screams at you that life won't be as good without cigarettes. The big monster is the one that keeps you trapped.
But here's the amazing thing. Once you see that big monster for what it is, just a big shadow, a complete illusion, well, everything changes. And that brings us to the most empowering part of this whole thing, the way out.
And this quote really says it all. The beautiful truth is that quitting isn't about some miserable, white-knuckle fight against your own willpower. It's about a light bulb moment. Once you truly understand the mechanics of the trap, you stop, just like that. Because you realize you're not giving up anything at all. So the path to freedom starts to look really clear, doesn't it? Step 1. You see all those excuses, pleasure, boredom, habit, for what they are, total illusions. Step 2. You understand that the real enemy isn't you, it's the addiction itself. And step 3, the most important one, you realize you are sacrificing absolutely nothing. When you stop, you're not losing a friend, you're escaping an enemy. And that's when you can finally enjoy being free.
And once you see it this way, the whole thing just flips on its head. The question is no longer, why is it so hard for me to quit? The real mystery is why any of us did it for so long to begin with. Because understanding the trap is what shatters it. So that leaves one final question for you. What illusions are you ready to let go of?